He's the Man of Steel, the last son of Krypton, often hailed as the pinnacle of power. But maybe Superman's real legacy isn't invincibility, but rather enduring some of the most shockingly embarrassing defeats ever dealt out by fellow heroes. Coming in at number 10 is Superman's own cousin, Kara Zor-El, also known as Supergirl. In the New 52 continuity, upon her arrival on Earth, a confused Supergirl mistook Superman for an imposter. Having last seen her cousin as a baby, she believed only a short time had passed since Krypton's destruction. This misunderstanding led to a battle where Supergirl, not holding back against who she thought was a fake, gave Superman a solid whooping. This initial encounter was undoubtedly embarrassing for Superman, being soundly defeated by a family member who didn't even recognize him. The sheer surprise of the attack and the fact that it came from someone he would naturally want to protect made this a humbling experience for the Man of Steel. At number 9, we have Ultra Boy, a member of the Legion of Superheroes from the 30th century. In an early Legion story, Ultra Boy's initiation task involved traveling to the 20th century to uncover Superboy's secret identity. In one instance, Ultra Boy managed to embarrass Superboy by simply tying him up with his own cape. Ultra Boy possesses powers similar to Superman, including super strength, speed, and flight, but with the limitation of only being able to use one at a time. Despite this, his clever use of Superboy's cape suggests a moment where the Boy of Steel was perhaps caught off guard and underestimated his opponent. The simplicity of the tactic, using Superboy's own iconic garment against him, adds to the embarrassing nature of this defeat. Landing firmly at number 8 is the Emerald Archer, Green Arrow, delivering a critical blow in one of DC's most acclaimed and darkest narratives, Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. The scene is iconic, a brutal, rain-soaked showdown between former allies, Batman and Superman, representing clashing ideologies in a grim future. Batman, older but strategically brilliant, has already weakened Superman through meticulous planning, exploiting the environment, and deploying sonic weapons and synthetic kryptonite gas. Yet, even a weakened Superman remains immensely powerful. It's in this pivotal moment that Oliver Queen, now a grizzled, one-armed anarchist, harboring resentment against Superman's role as a government tool, plays his crucial part. From a hidden vantage point, Green Arrow draws back his bow and lets fly a custom arrow, tipped with a concentrated dose of synthetic kryptonite provided by Batman. Despite his age and physical limitation, his aim remains unerring. The arrow finds its mark, striking the Man of Steel and delivering another potent dose of his greatest weakness directly into his system. This precise, calculated shot further incapacitates Superman, crippling his strength and allowing the heavily armored Batman to gain the decisive upper hand in their legendary fistfight. The humiliation for Superman is profound, being brought down not by a cosmic entity or superpowered foe, but by a non-superpowered human archer exploiting his most well-known vulnerability. It happens during a significant public confrontation, underscoring his fallibility for all to see. Green Arrow's sharpshooting skill, combined with Batman's strategic use of kryptonite, serves as a stark reminder that even near godlike power can be overcome by human ingenuity, resolve, and the exploitation of a critical flaw, making this a truly humbling moment for the last son of Krypton. Soaring into the 7th spot is Hawkman. In the Public Enemies storyline, when Superman and Batman were declared public enemies, other heroes were sent to apprehend them. During his encounter with Superman, Hawkman utilized a unique weapon called the Claw of Horus. This weapon, crafted from nth metal, draws its power from the magnetic core of the Earth. As Hawkman himself explained, he essentially hit Superman with the planet. This devastating blow was enough to knock Superman out cold. Being defeated by a weapon that channels the very power of the Earth was a humbling and perhaps embarrassing experience for the Man of Steel, suggesting he was overwhelmed by a force intrinsically linked to the world he protects. Calling down the lightning at number 6 is Shazam. In the alternate reality of Kingdom Come, a brainwashed Shazam, also known as Captain Marvel, engaged in a fierce battle with Superman. Shazam repeatedly called down magical lightning, a significant weakness for Superman, causing the Man of Steel to bleed from his eyes and ears. The relentless magical assault nearly defeated Superman. The sheer intensity of the attack from a former ally, coupled with Superman's vulnerability to magic, made this a particularly humiliating and painful encounter for the hero. The fact that Shazam was being manipulated further underscores Superman's helplessness in this situation. Phasing into the number 5 spot is Martian Manhunter. In the Injustice universe, facing a Superman who had become a tyrannical dictator, Martian Manhunter employed his powerful telepathic abilities. Instead of a physical confrontation, John Johnsy made Superman relive his most traumatic memories, forcing him to experience the anguish of his people's destruction and the loss of Lois Lane. This mental assault incapacitated Superman without a single punch being thrown. Being emotionally and mentally overwhelmed by a fellow hero in this manner was a deeply personal and undoubtedly embarrassing defeat for the Man of Steel, showcasing a vulnerability that extends beyond physical might. Squeaking in at number 4 is the unlikely hero, Chup, a Green Lantern who resembles a squirrel. In the Injustice Gods Among Us comic series, Chup faced off against Superman. Using his Green Lantern power ring with surprising precision, Chup managed to shrink himself down and disrupt the synapses in Superman's brain, rendering the Man of Steel completely helpless. This defeat at the hands of a seemingly non-threatening smaller being in such a precise and debilitating way was an undeniably embarrassing moment for Superman, highlighting that even the mightiest can be vulnerable to unexpected tactics and the versatile power of a Green Lantern ring. Blazing into the top 3 is the fastest man alive, the Flash. The age-old question of who is faster between Superman and the Flash was definitively answered in The Flash Rebirth. In a direct foot race, Barry Allen unleashed his full speed, leaving Superman in his dust. Adding to the humiliation, Flash revealed that he had always held back in their previous races, being definitively outrun by another hero, especially with the implication that Flash wasn't even trying his hardest before, was a significant blow to Superman's pride and his image as one of the fastest beings in the DC universe. Stepping into the second spot is the unexpected contender, Alfred Pennyworth. In the Injustice Gods Among Us storyline, after Superman brutally injures Bruce Wayne, Alfred, Batman's loyal butler, took drastic measures. He ingested a pill that temporarily granted him Kryptonian-level strength. Fueled by his anger and disappointment in Superman, Alfred headbutted the Man of Steel and proceeded to deliver a surprisingly brutal beatdown. This shocking defeat at the hands of Batman's elderly butler, even with temporary superpowers, was an incredibly humiliating and unexpected loss for Superman, further highlighting the depths of his descent in the Injustice reality. Taking the top spot as the superhero who most embarrassingly defeated Superman is Wonder Woman. In Injustice Gods Among Us Year 4, during a conflict where Superman hesitated to fight her at full strength, Wonder Woman showed no such restraint. Sensing his hesitation, Diana unleashed her full Amazonian fury, delivering one of the most vicious and comprehensive beatdowns Superman has ever endured. Being so thoroughly dominated by a fellow member of the Trinity, especially due to his own moment of weakness or emotional conflict, was a significant and deeply embarrassing defeat for the Man of Steel, questioning his combat prowess against even his closest allies when they are truly determined. So even the seemingly invincible Man of Steel isn't immune to an embarrassing beatdown from his super peers. It just goes to show how unpredictable and downright strange superpowers can get. If you're intrigued by heroes whose abilities push the boundaries of believability even further, you should definitely click over to my previous video exploring superheroes with superpowers that defy physics. Click on the screen now or down in the description below to see which heroes throw the laws of science completely out the window.